Hey team, how we going? It is Kaz and Lauren from In the Trenches with you, not Kaz's trench as others have tried to say. And Fugly, fantastic job on in the trenches with Kaz memes today.
I'll have to check it out.
It's great. But I'm here to say g'day to you. It feels like it's been forever. To the directors, to the members, to those that are here for the first time globally or domestically, it is a pleasure to be behind the microphone with this Joan of Arc hairstyle saying what a privilege it was to get off my life support system for a hemorrhoid and go to the School of Infantry and not just see the pride on the faces of those that you can see in the background, which I can't mention their names because there's Special Forces guys in there, but the parents, now that COVID is allowing people to go to ceremonies, to see people from Western Australia, Billy's dad, Andy, and his lovely wife and family. The lovely family of the Fletchers were all there, two dads. There were so many great people there. And I just want to do a bit of tribute tonight. I know it's the weekend. I know it's pissing down rain here in Penrith. The whole place looks like a chocolate milkshake, only crunchy, if you know the dessert. And guys and gals, it's a pleasure for me to be here tonight, to have come back from representing you and Patreon. Fletcher would know about that. And I'm stoked to be here. Hey, Simon, how you going? Can we do some introductions from yourself, Lauren, but then also from the lovely people whose names I can't read?
Yep, sure. Well, I believe the lurker was first cab off the rank earlier this afternoon.
That's not lurking.
No, and he is still here. We've got miscellaneous. Says, I'm in long-term platoon, only 6 weeks left now.
The hardest 6 weeks.
Yep, Mark Zamp is here. Looking forward for the calamari tonight.
Awesome, mate. Awesome. It's here for you.
Yep, a Trey O is here. Koala is here.
Yeah.
With a kid. Daz is here.
He's always
Dave
here.
D. It's nice to have Dave D back, isn't it?
He's the best.
Yep.
Stand fast.
Yep, Rob Kent, Keeper of Hounds, is
He's
here.
here.
Yep, and PK is here.
My
And
favourite chewing gum.
Yep, Retro Gaming is here. He's not here very often anymore, but it's always nice to see him.
Gallagher.
Yep.
Ikari.
Yeah, yep, B Stubbs is here.
Stubbsy.
Who else is here? We've got the Sworn Defender is here. Gav is here. Aiden Ruth. Leo Wanker, stuntman for life, as always.
The Lion.
Yep, and Chongo is here, and he made it right at the start of the stream. Jesse Bray is here, and he said that his ladies are going just great.
Great to see his little ones good.
Is taking a rest from deliveries, and he is here tonight, which is really great. It's always good to see Simon. So if you have any RAF questions, direct them towards Simon.
That Fitbit's coming to you soon, mate. We're going to bring you a waistline down, stat, like a Zyrtec.
Yep. Oh, look, he's a seasick cow from Aiden Ruth.
Hey, Aiden Ruth. It's like he's buying these shirts I've got to get off my ass and send to him.
Yeah.
Let me just tell you, now that we've absolutely paid our bills when it comes to the Xbox giveaway with Felix the Cat, we gave him the currency hard and cold because Xbox X is not in Australia unless you go through... what do you call it? Through eBay at nearly $2,000. So we paid him up. We paid him full. He's stoked. His family is stoked. And his battalion's going to be stoked. And he'll be on the way there today. So let's throw this out there quickly for Aiden Ruth. I'm going to give him the calamari. Here it comes. No one would really appreciate getting the tentacles on you. You know, the food that gives back.
Feed him a mother-in-law. Feed him a mother-in-law.
Mother-in-law's hope.
That should make him happy.
Welcome, calamari. Welcome, calamari.
What's he saying? Recommended in...
AOSB.
Okay, I was a selection board, yep.
Right, keen to find out more information from them soon. Hopefully they're desperate enough to need my sorry, but...
They're always after a few good men. Always. Yeah. If you can handle the truth.
I'm sure he can handle the truth. He's been here long enough.
Not so cow.
Yeah. Colonel Boogie is here and he says, "Hi team AAB," which is Australian Army Band's been here for a long, long time.
Yes.
And said it's been a little while and they have their PFA tomorrow. That's
Good.
great.
Mate, you need to go for 1,000 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, and 37 on the beep test. Anything short of that is still going to be a pass, unless you get under 8.
Yep.
I've got a great story. I've got a great story that you're going to hear too, Lauren, about one of the lovely, if you can say that, the lovely Indigenous soldier, who came and shook my hand on Friday, and we had a great conversation about the scheme for Aboriginal soldiers, etc., and the clarity and the candid conversation we had. He looked a little bit shocked, but he understood by the end.
Yeah, of course. Sorry, just as we're still doing the introductions, you know how it was Jay Hayes' birthday the other day? Well, on Friday, it was Simon Powell's birthday, and he turned 51.
51.
So, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Area 51. Happy birthday to you, you frickin' alien.
Yeah, hippie hooray.
Hip hip hooray. We're going to come and violate your no-go zone.
What?
If he gives consent.
There's always a line and you just jump right over it. Okay, the perfect banjo is there with a yellow cow. Yep. Hey, Kaz, finally finished
Defence Ops.
Right, thank God, not long left now. Thanks for coming to see the boys downstairs off on Friday.
Banjo, for starters, thank you very much. I'm going to throw you a Nutsu cow. I'll wait till the noise is over before I speak.
I accept!
Banjo, let me tell you, mate, the defensive operations, for those that don't know, is where you go in and you will not sleep for 24 hours. And if it's raining like this, remember what the motto is. Okay, not duty first. I mean the role. To seek out and close the enemy, to kill, catch him, to seize and hold ground by day or night, regardless of season, weather, or terrain. It'll make no difference. You either dig in this, or you dig in the dry, you dig in the heat, or you dig in the wet. So the ground is going to be supple for you, and you could be using a helmet, okay, to get the delge out of your pit. But from what I've heard now, the Def Ops, although that has traditionally been one of the hardest 10-day blocks, in some ways, the live fire, the attack week is probably the hardest week, but then you've also got the urban 10 days or week, which has almost no sleep, that leads into your hardcore with the anxiety that any little thing, niggle that happens, you're going to be carrying that through, and maybe it is just that perfect thorn in the elephant's paw, lions, that prevents you from getting that pass. So you need to protect yourself. There's 3 really hard weeks, and that is offensive week, defensive week, and the urban week, culminating in the hardcore. If you don't finish, you don't finish. If you don't finish, you're going backwards to do it all over again. So, Banjo, I look forward to hearing from you, mate, seeing where you're at, and take it very seriously, because I tell you, I say that you can't fail Kapooka. You can absolutely fail the School of Infantry. And we've got some guys at the moment from Kapyong Platoon who didn't make it, and it wasn't through lack of effort. And to those guys, I call out a mucho respecto, and understand that sometimes you've got to lick your wounds and come back harder. Carl P knows about that. There he is right there. I hope...
Talking about Carl P, it was his birthday yesterday.
Carl's?
Yes.
Did Justin and Lincoln do something special for you? Did they make you run? Are you the running man?
I hope so.
Happy birthday to Carl. Happy birthday to Carl. Happy birthday if it's anyone's goddamn birthday. Happy birthday, you're alive for less than 100 years, so don't celebrate too loud.
No, that's more to celebrate loudly. Happy birthday to all the In the Trenches birthday boys from this week.
And girls, don't be sexist.
I don't think there was any. I would have, if there was girls, I would have included them. But They
Yeah.
can't have it.
For those that don't know, in the background as well, that is actual photos of Kapyong, of the boys from 3RAR, from Old Faithful, that served beside Princess Patricia's Canadian light infantry in 1951 between the 23rd and the 25th of April, Anzac Day, where they got their battle line up for the 24th. Their deeds, like Thermopylae, they didn't roll backwards. I believe we lost 32 men from Old Faithful, the 3rd Battalion, Royal Australian Regiment. Okay, and I believe it was 20-something from Princess Patricia's Canadian Light Infantry. But they took the lives of more than 2,000 Chinese. That's 2K Chinese who were coming in to overrun their position. And they didn't balk and they didn't run. And I'd like to say also, mucho respecto to those Chinese families that lost their loved ones too. But what it did, it allowed for the bolstering of the United Nations forces to be able to set up the 38th parallel, I believe it's called, which meant there was a truce / the fight is still going. It's not over. Okay, there's just been a stall. But this was made possible by the actions of those gallant men, mixed with also the Battle of Samoshon, etc., with the 2nd Battalion Royal Australian Regiment. But this was just after the end of World War II. Okay, this is when the men hadn't even had time to relax, or their sons to think, we've missed out, only to be wearing a fluffy hat and whatever they could wear to keep themselves cool in Korea as they waited for their turn to become famous, infamous, or forgotten. They weren't forgotten, lest we forget. Yeah. So that was the Battle of Kapyong, big one. And that is the name of the platoon, because all the platoons at the School of Infantry, are named after battle honours that Australians have been involved in. I think it's a fantastic tribute, and people should remember that with pride.
And learn it and take it to heart.
Yeah. Funny thing is, when the boys got their lanyards, because this is what happens when you culminate your training, and let's call this for what it is. It's not 13 weeks at the School of Infantry. It's a year. When you add Kapooka to it, when you add Singleton to it, when you add COVID to it, it's a year with hardly a day off. And it all comes down to a hardcore or mercy of fate that nothing goes wrong and you get out of there. So what do you get? You get a lanyard. We wear it on the left. We're the only corps that does so. And that's a battalion cord that goes around your shoulder and then goes into your pocket, medium medals, and we wear that on the left. And it'll be coloured to the battalion that you're going to. I don't think anyone, despite the fact that it was from Kapyong Platoon, actually went to the 3rd Battalion, the Royal Australian Regiment, which his battle honour is Kapyong, which I think is weird. I was in Kapyong Platoon in 1991, and yet these guys are in Kapyong in 2021, 30 years later. You know what happened? 18 went to 1RAR. I believe it was when I went to, when I was in Kapyong Platoon. And 5 went to the 2nd, 4th Battalion before it delinked. Now, they just had 18 go to 1RAR and 4 go to the 2nd Battalion, Royal Australian Regiment, second to none. The best battalion of the best small army in the world. So there's a bit of serendipity there. G'day, man, a hug and kiss. How you going? Guys and gals, people came from all over Australia to come and see their loved ones, despite the fact that it was pissing down rain. Rain had no effect on mission except they didn't get to see the obstacle course. It was fairly minimalistic actually, but it was a great day. It was a really great day, and I got to spend a lot of time with a lot of people that were really, really fantastic. And the one gentleman I probably hit it off the best with, but didn't get to spend the time with, was his first name is Billy. You lose your first name when you go to the regiment. Everything's your nickname or your surname. But I really hit it off with his father, not romantically.
Yeah, no, understand. We wouldn't judge you if you had it.
And yeah, it's still really hitting me hard that I didn't get to go over there and shake his son's hand.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the families of the loved ones, look, they're represented in here too. Alpha Bravo just said, incredibly proud of my son, about to march out of Singleton soon. And lovely Grace is here, and she's updating us that they got a phone call from Tyson today, awesome, who is a regular here. So Grace has come in while he's away. So it's lovely, the love that we have for our loved ones, when they go, and we're so proud of them. And we're proud of your loved ones too.
We are. And look, like I try to explain to people, and you'll get this, is I don't have to care about the soldier so much. You're in this penny for a pound. You're in there. But you're the one who is following your dream. And I explained to one of the parents that the actual soldier, the soldier, the candidate, whether it be a male or female, etc., you are the top of the apex of the iceberg. But beneath you is an entire family that you're representing that will be behind you. And we don't get to see them unless they're in chat here or unless they turn up to march outs. And then we see the beautiful people that have been barracking for you. And when you see how happy they are, you think to yourself, these are the people behind all of the frustrations, all of the you're not getting leave, the I've been back squatted, this is not what I really want. No, you can do it. So they are your team. And in saying that, Grace, if she's still watching now,
I think she probably
is this awesome or is this gross? Because I'm going to put it out there. I think every single guy thinks this is goddamn awesome, and I think every single girl out there thinks this is goddamn gross. He is ready for this. Let me see some thumbs up, thumbs of colour. What do you reckon there, Iron Wolf? We're about to see it. Apparently, I'm the only one to ever purchase this, and you can buy it at the core shop at the Infantry Museum, and I'm about to show you.
Okay.
Let's see some thumbs up, or you don't get to see it, team.
Oh, God. Oh, all right. Hang on.
Let's see some thumbs
Give
up.
lots of 3. If he insists on thumbs up, give him lots of 3.
Ah! Lauren, that's enough. Stoddy, medic! That's true, Michael Stott. Medic.
Yeah, Kapyong. Yeah.
No one wants to see it. Okay, Dave D wants to.
Yeah.
He's throwing out that hand of colour.
Simon Powell wrote 3 thumbs, so come on. Look, they're doing different.
It's coming. Yeah, here it 3 thumbs. Oh, here they come.
Count that.
Jesse Bray. All right. The one thing you're going to see a lot is kangaroos in the prone position on the Golden Highway, which is not so golden, in the mines, okay, on the Broke Road. But what I got, okay, I couldn't say no to. I was beside Daniel, who's 27 years old, went to see his mate, who's 21 years old, march out.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Oh, let's put this over here. Oh, only here on In the Trenches with Kaz. Vegans, animal activists. I don't believe this was killed just for this, but get ready. If you're from America, this is coming over there soon. You ready? You don't get more Skippy Badge than this.
Oh, wow. That's what happened to Skippy.
Skippy Badge on Skippy.
It won't stink, Fletch, because it will have been properly tanned.
It's as soft as a mother-in-law's chin.
Actually, it looks rather beautiful.
It is. It is beautiful.
I'm surprised by how beautiful the actual skin looks.
The pelt is beautiful. And it even says on there...
On the back. Where did you get that?
James Gum Leather.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell some people that is a product they can get.
And what I can do is... I might buy one every single time I go to a march out.
Yeah.
So
Because I know a gentleman who lives in my backyard who would love one of them. I might get him one for his birthday or Father's Day or something.
You just let us know. It's the gift that you can get someone when there is nothing you can get them. If you're in Dubai in the Khalifa Tower and you're going, what could you possibly get me that I can't get? Like that, I'll go, oh, I'll show you something, mate.
Yeah.
In any man's bar, that would be amazing, because not only is it a beautiful pelt, but it's also got the Skippy Badge, which can only be earned.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
That's really great. No, I don't think that's Grace. I think that's terrific.
What's Grace saying?
I don't know. I think that's it. She's left.
Grace, you can be unfaithful and say that you like this pelt more. I get it.
That's not being unfaithful. Grace is very faithful. Look how faithful she is. While Tyson's away, she's in here talking to us, Mol.
Good point.
Moto Dubs has said, hey guys, got enlistment on April the 12th.
April the 12th? That's not far away.
No, you have the book?
I do, but I think he's already in the book.
Right, okay. How well do you believe Kapooka prepares us from Singo? Some people say they actually lost fitness rather than gained. How do you go about preparing for Singo then?
You get off your goddamn slave's ass and you go and do the work now, because you're not going to lose enough of it at Kapooka that it's going to make a difference when you get to Singleton. There's a graduating fitness program, but if you haven't done the work before Kapooka, you're in big trouble. And I'll tell you what happens in a second. But April the 12th, who was that, Dubsy?
Moto Dubs.
Yeah, Moto's here already.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, Grace is here. She's glad he's doing well too. It's definitely been a hard 2 weeks, especially trying to adjust with the kids. You'll get used to it. You'll get the hang of it.
Yeah.
We're all coming down to local leave. That's awesome. Hang in there.
Let me explain something quickly about the fitness side again.
Sorry.
At the moment, there's over 100 people in holding platoon at the School of Infantry. Now, there's only 60 that go into a session. They will give a fitness test, and the top 60 will go into the platoon that starts at session. So if you're an underperforming because you didn't go in prepared, then you can get skipped over multiple sessions as you graduate to the point where they can trust you to go on with training and start a session and complete that session. So then again, you have no excuse other than giving up or an act of God or getting back squatted for being untrainable. But I'll explain something else to you. Just squidgying my false eye here that I lost in Vietnam. Might be some fake news there. Okay, so basically what happens is there is graduated training where you will start off with a 10-kilometre pack march, okay? And then it could go up to 15 kilometres. You might ultimately end up doing 22 kilometres when you do your final hardcore, etc. But we'll graduate up to that activity. But there is nothing fitness-wise other than getting out there and doing the hard work and having the grit and the determination to succeed that can get you through Defence Week, okay, through Assault Week or Attack Week, through the Urban Week. None of those things, or hardcore. You can't do any of those things by making it to the standards of the BFA. That's not what gets you through. It's ticker. It's the second half fitness, second half of football fitness that you need. You need to have that. And that's something that you cannot explain to people. The first time you pick up a Mag 58, oh, Jesus, I don't want to be a gunner anymore. The first time you put body armour on and it looks cool for a photo, but then you realise you can't put the photo up on Instagram. And then you go, oh, shit, is this all the time? And then their helmet that doesn't quite fit properly. And you feel yourself balding as it moves back and forth on your scalp. And then the sore neck from having the night vision equipment on there. And then fire and moving and understanding that you've already proven you're the least fit in your section, which makes you the dangerous person in the live fire week because you're the one at the back and the back man is the most dangerous. Okay? Something's... drunk Aussie's asleep on the keyboard again.
Again, yeah.
What's he saying?
Okay, g'day all. Hope everyone is having a good night. Kaz, having my assessment day tomorrow. Any last minute advice? I'm applying for infantry.
All I'll say there, Drunk Aussie, is remember they're trying to find out what's wrong with you tomorrow, not what's right. So just answer the questions, okay? And remember the psychological assessment, okay? It's not a confession session, okay? Get in there, tell them what they want to hear, and if you've got any nous, you know what they want to hear. It's sort of in the question. They sort of nod their head as they say this is probably the right thing to say. And from there, mate, all I say is good luck, and I hope they don't find anything that's hanging out your clacker that's not meant to be there, or any lumps to the front of your carriage that makes them say come back in another year. I reckon you're going to be fine, mate. You'd know by now if you had any warning signs, and you would have rang me by now and said, hey, Kaz, what does it mean if this occurs? So I can't wait to find out what's going on, mate, and I'm going to throw some tentacles to you right now.
Yeah, exactly. Stay cool, probably. Don't get too worked up.
What's going on here?
Not so cold. Not so cold.
They wouldn't let the White Warrior up. I was thinking, is this like the Black Crow landing on Drunk Aussie?
I accept!
So I've got a battle going on in the background. I'm not sure whether you like that or a bit of nature or a little bit of sedentary Coca-Cola lids in the background. We can take requests of what you'd like to have in the background anytime you want.
I like a bit of the Total War, though.
Yeah, it looks good.
That goes down well.
Makes you feel like I'm there.
Yeah, we love it because you never expect those elephants.
Guess who else is here?
Who?
Bailey's hat. Can we hear in comments, please, where we believe Bailey's hat flew off and landed? I believe it flew off and landed in a Turkish massage parlour,
Yeah, I think
serviced by men for men. Or maybe it landed on JJ the Submariner's bunk.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, fair. I've got a really great comment that I would like to read if you are free.
Go.
Okay, James Kim has said, I'm serving as a sapper, and I'm proud to serve as an Australian with my Korean heritage. One
Yep.
of the many reasons I'm serving is to thank back all the Anzacs who served during the Korean War for the freedom of his home country where he came from.
That's goddamn beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's exactly what I said to him.
What's your name, sir?
James Kim. And then he thanked everyone for giving him support. And I would say thank you for your service to Australia. You are now one of those Anzacs.
We're seeing more and more of that, James, where we start to get people actually saying, well, I was part of that situation. We've got a Rwandan who is now serving in the Australian Army, who was actually claimed to have been at the massacre, and an Australian soldier put his hand on his shoulder and basically said, you'll be all right, son. We're here now. We're seeing people from every background. We've got the fantastic Yaros, the kebab, that was born in Russia, moved to Germany, lives in Australia, and wants to give back by serving. You go, where does it start? Where does it finish? Remarkable people, remarkable backgrounds, and they're representing us with a pride that seems to be lost on so many others that have done squat. I'll say it again, squat for themselves, for their family, or for their future. Now, I say to people, be stoic, but while being compassionate to others. Be stoic upon yourself. Don't take things to heart. I don't give a shit what anyone calls me, because I know if it's true or whether it's not. And if it is true, I'll go, oh, okay.
Names really will never hurt you.
No.
You allow them to hurt you. Your reaction is what's hurting you, not what the person said.
Yeah, we're seeing Cardi B at the moment, who's getting torn to pieces by Candace Owens.
Well, to be honest with you, she needed a talking to.
Yeah.
She did. She is a terrible role model. Don't even get me started.
I'd probably say, as long as you are not on the side of Meghan and Harry, you're probably doing okay. If you are, then please hold for a second, hold the mirror up and say, hey, what's going on?
You need to have a good hard look. Good heavens. Don't even start me on that either. I've been quite cromedy about a lot of that news this week.
Cromedy?
Shall we get back to the comments?
Absolutely.
Okay. Calpe's off. He's got to get groceries out of the car and he's going to cook dinner. So happy birthday for, I think it was yesterday.
Yeah.
Carl?
Happy birthday, mate. And I'll give you a call tomorrow and we'll have a bit of a chat. And hopefully QPM does well and I'll be stoked. But until then, an unusual tribute for you. Bam, something's never happened. Kangaroo balls on me chin. That's not garlic, team.
Why are you teabagging yourself?
I was just addressing the elephant in the room, and that's real ivory. A lot of things happened when, 50 years ago that would look so disgusting now, but you're not about to throw something, what's happening in the background? Oh, they're back.
It does look like garlic.
It does look like garlic.
Yeah, Roger Ramjet's happy with
These
that
don't.
background. Mr. Patterson has a question.
Okay, Mr. P, great to have you here.
Yeah, it is indeed. He wants to know, did you get any footage from the march out?
I did get some footage, but unfortunately, you cannot download Apple phone footage onto a Microsoft computer. I was trying to do before this. And besides, sorry?
What about like a WeTransfer file or something?
No, I've been trying all afternoon to get it, and it wouldn't let me. And the only reason why I only had the phone is, one, it was torrential rain, that was occurring around Newcastle. As you know, at the moment, we're living in the land of Milo. But also there's Special Forces soldiers and candidates that were in that platoon, and I did not want to be in a position where I have to be told, as someone that should know better, that some of these guys cannot, as dentists, have their face put on or exploited for views and likes on the screen. So that is one of the big reasons why. Don't take your camera to town, son.
Exactly.
Just leave your camera at home, boy.
Just have the experience. Okay, moving right along, there is a yellow cow right down the bottom from A Mechanic.
A treacherous yellow cow.
Yeah, exactly, who's a bit of a pirate there with
Garr.
his skull and crossbones. Garr. Got my enlistment on the 4th of May.
4th of May.
Force be with you. Just want to say thank you, Kaz, Lauren, and all the moderators doing a great thing with this channel. It certainly has helped me so much. Well, thank you for saying that. It's nice to get some feedback.
It is fantastic, because sometimes you think to yourself, am I walking into an ambush when I get there? Are people going to be, you're that dickhead that's been saying this and that? But I spoke to the commanding officer, I spoke to the RSM, I spoke to my mate, Mick Keefe, who's now WO1. I spoke to officers, I spoke to section commanders and sergeants, but the families is always the best ones. It was really good to have that greeting. So 4th of May, the pirate, what's the gentleman's name? A Mechanic.
Yep, with K's.
A Mechanic. Like Stratum, the assassin. Mate, one, thank you very much. Get some cracking into your guts. And the other one is, as you feel like this salt and pepper calamari's around your neck, it's about to start. And you're joining in winter.
Welcome, calamari. They're just so happy to be going, they don't care if it's winter or not.
That battle in the background that you can see, that's what it's going to look like trying to get into the showers after you've been into the wet obstacle course in winter, or trying to get the last piece of bacon like it's bloody contraband out of Mexico. Mate, you're in for a treat, but your timing is crap, mate. Kapuka is freaking cold, and Singo is goddamn cold as well. You're going to feel like, I don't know, a menopausal grandma who's angry at men on a female's march. That angry coldness.
Come on, yeah, okay, granted. But come on, not all menopausal ladies are like that.
I don't know any. I just thought I'd stereotype, since that's so bad.
Yeah, no, it is a fair stereotype, to be honest. Okay.
Well, we're very forward fair lane. Men get angrier as we get older. Get off my grass.
Yeah. Good night, Mr. Patterson.
Good night, sir. There you go.
Yeah, it'd be good. Okay, where was I up to? Ash Hundle, who's a member, said, "Hi Lauren, hi Kaz. Got my assessment date on the 23rd of March. This time I chose RAF Loadmaster, RAF Airborne Electrical Analyst, and Administration Assistance Army. Full looking forward. Any tips?"
You're an analyst.
Yeah.
When's it for?
Hang on, now I'll have to go back. I got off of it. On the 23rd of March. That's in a couple of days.
That's like
That's like
Tuesday. Yeah.
Yeah.
23rd of March. Who's going with you? Let me see. I'm looking at you tonight. 23rd of March is that for Army Reserve?
Wait a minute. 23rd of March. It's only his assessment day.
Oh, it's his assessment day.
Yeah, sorry. I thought I may not have said that. That's my fault. I'm a little bit foggy in the brain. So.
Look, the assessment day is the big day where things can go wrong because you can speak too much. You can say something. Did you smoke pot when you were younger? Yeah, I used to smoke a lot, but I haven't for a while. Don't say that. You know, police record, I've never been caught. Don't say that.
Yeah, don't say that.
Okay, this is a question Dave would be able to answer fine. Kapooka winters are lovely, he says. People are going to say to you, what do you think? And because I think this is a hard question to ask people. You know, and I don't like to give answers to psychological assessment questions because if you're a psycho, you're a goddamn psycho and they need to weed you out.
You out.
But in saying that, if they say to you, what do you think about the thought that you might have to take the life of another human being? Remember, we're in peacetime at the moment, so they're not about to say, come into the other room and prove it. So remember, all you need to be able to say is, I understand who I am right now. That's not what I'm about. I'm joining the army for the great adventure. I'm joining the army to be around other people who think the way I think. And I see this as the last frontier of society. Okay, I understand that from here, I'm going to go on an arc of training and preparation before anything that I'm pushed into tackling, and everything's going to make sense to me. There's going to be graduated training, and if there is an opportunity where I must, squeeze that 3.5 pounds of pressure, on a trigger, then that is going to be because either the mission is in danger, I'm in danger, someone I'm supposed to protect is in danger, or my mates and brothers are in danger. So it'd be an absolute necessity. And if that's the case, I'm up to the task, and I'm sure that you'll get me over the finish line with your training.
Yep.
So I guess the answer is absolutely yes.
There you go.
Yep. They might ask if you got phobias. If they ask you have any phobias, guess what your answer is? It's a 2-letter word. Yo. No, it's no. Don't go in there and go, you know what, just between you and me, I'm shit scared of the water, can't swim for shit, scared of heights, spiders, dark places, people walking down. Yeah, you're not scared of shit. You don't give anyone any information until you're actually in a helicopter on its side, showing you what a portion of the Earth's surface looks like, from a perpendicular angle.
Yeah. The yellow cow.
These treacherous cows just sneaking in tonight.
Exactly, from B Stubs. Hey, Kaz, hope the march out was a success. Was doing IET training.
Initial employment training, yep.
Yep, with the band during the rehearsals with Kapyong Platoon, but couldn't stay for the real deal. Keep up the great work.
So Stubbsy's doing IET training, so it's going to be his turn.
Yep.
Stubbsy, absolutely fantastic. I want to make this a regular thing coming up for the lads and potentially ladies as well. There was no women in this platoon at all. Have a Nutsu cow. Get that. It's not letting me. There it is. It's probably going to come up 10 times now. White Warrior. Stubbsy.
I accept.
He was kicking the wall and it was coming down all around him. The next video that I put on is going to be dedicated to Dave D because I feel like he's been with us so long. He's the plant, but he's the plant in the corner that I always forget to water.
We take him for granted, don't we, our Dave?
We do.
And, let me tell everyone, he scrubs up real nice. I'll never forget how sharp he looked in that suit.
Look, for a one-legged man, he goes pretty well.
Yeah, I remember the fear I had when he hurt his ankle right at that moment.
For those that don't know, just before Big Dave went to go and represent himself at Kapooka, so to speak, or OSB and stuff, he fell from a blistering height of 3 feet out of a tree and landed on a buttress root in front of his children, accidentally amputated his leg, only held together by shin hair.
Oh, God,
and
photo, it was full gore, but
it was. And he fought his way back.
He did. He did. Everyone, we were so proud of you. We are. Yeah, we do love you, Dave.
We do. We stand fast for Dave, but now he knows the brambles of Holsworthy. You know, he had the thorns of Christ in his hands, you know, and and I think he loves every bit of it.
Yeah, I think he does too. I think he's made for it.
Sebastian, it's a good name.
Yeah, Moto Dubs has a second question.
Yeah.
Second question, how would you go about formulating a reason to join your preferred regiment? For me personally, 2 RAR, but I do get that it's not up to me and I go where I'm needed. But if he gets some choice, he wants to know how can you have some sway in it?
Well, that question is not even worth addressing until you're at least halfway through Kapooka, successful at Kapooka, getting to the School of Infantry. No one cares at recruiting, and if it's not someone who's infantry that's talking to you, as a matter of fact, they won't even understand why you want to go to infantry because they're shit scared of going to infantry. So don't even bring that up with them, what battalion you want to go to. You can say, no matter where I want to serve, I want to go to Townsville because I understand that's the biggest cluster of soldiers in one position that has the most amount of money and resources that goes into there, which is temperately cooler than Darwin, okay, but also is not inundated by civilians, so to speak. So I'll know when I get there. When you get to the School of Infantry, then that is when you say, that's the battalion I want to get to, and you make sure that everyone in your platoon knows that's where you want to go to, and you stick to that, you don't change. But have a reason why. You and I will have a conversation before then and understand that you're competing for that position. So what you do now makes the difference on whether you get there or not, and the position has to be available as well. You know, we've got guys who are, like, as we said, 18 are going to 1, 4 are going to the 2nd Battalion. I get to shake all their hands, I think. You know, let's say a massive, I'm going to mention his name, Mr. Shepherd. Okay? Isn't that ironic that the man that got the very best overall soldier, his last name is Shepherd. So he basically was the guy that brought the herd home as the best soldier, and he's going to the 2nd Battalion. And if he ever needs me, I'm in his corner. And I'm going to let some of the guys from the 2nd Battalion know that he's coming, you know, and to make sure they congratulate him, because it's a massive feat. In a role, and make no mistake, I said this to the parents as well, your son is a professional athlete now. Because as soon as he cannot maintain that fitness standard, he's out of a job. So he's a professional athlete. And this guy deserves all the props. You know, to see Felix and lovely Vicky and the family as well was an absolute privilege as well.
They're good people.
They are good people. Yeah. And she looked $1 million in the rain. She looked cold, actually.
Oh, she always looks $1 million, our Vicky.
Yeah, she's lovely.
She is lovely. Shall we get back to chat for a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, because Grace actually has a question.
Hey, Grace.
And I'm not sure if it's about for her or for Tyson.
Yeah.
So she's got a question I had, though. Does anyone know if it's worth buying the Leatherman multi-tools? I heard a few people mention them now. I don't know if you're talking for Tyson, but you should get yourself some because they're very, very handy. I've got my own Leatherman tool thing because when Tyson's away, you may have to do some quick fixes around the house, and having like a handy tool that does lots of things is actually very useful.
Yeah.
But I don't. Tyson needs one.
Yeah, but he'll definitely use it. He would really, really appreciate it. That's for sure. Because there's only so many things that a soldier needs, because we have our lists and we're always trying to keep our weights down. Now, and that's not fat shaming the soldier. What I'm saying is when you're carrying 28 kilos of body armor and other extraneous bullshit, and that's not carrying the gun or the 20 plus kilos of ammunition, we try to keep our weight down. The other things that we really like is umbrellas. They're short, compact umbrellas that you pump out and up it goes, and that protects our pack. We can do our orders underneath there, etc. A really good torch is a beautiful thing.
Yep.
And a wait until everything's awesome. But a G-Shock watch is about as good as it gets for soldiers, because the G-Shock watch, make sure it's black or green, because they're the only two colours you're allowed to have for watches, etc. Without having to put a sock over there. Sorry?
Go for black. It goes with everything.
But it's racist.
Come on now. Also, there's an awful lot of young folk in the chat today, and some of them are enlisting, but they are still using their real names. Would you be able to just give the quick rundown of what we suggest people do?
Hey, E.T., how you going, mate? Thank you very much for joining us on Patreon too, my friend. We're going to be speaking real soon, you and I. Guys and gals, there is a very important issue with your real name. And this is being attached to not just military, but civilian as well, about having your real name on social media where people can connect your statements, you're agreeing with other people's statements as you are now the font of or fully barrack for that. And it is always the left attacking conservative. I'm not going to say right because they'll call everyone right. Leftists are attacking, and immature people attack people, the opposite of stoicism, and they will use your name as leverage. They'll use your name as a tool against you. I suggest strongly that if you want a career in the military or any professional career, that your online presence that is not a closed group is always a alias, and you can have fun with it. Make it something funny as hell.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll
figure out who you are. A lot of people have changed their names. We can still tell who's who.
Yeah, in the zoo.
But if not, have fun with that too.
That's it. Nothing good comes out of you from having your own name on there, mate. My name is Dean Caswell. You know that. But that's...
Yeah, do it for all your social media, not just YouTube.
That's it. Let's change our the back screen over now for Dave, now that this is... the battle's complete. Here we go. You should like this one. This is someone joining the military. It's almost a metaphor. It's absolutely amazing to watch. This is. He must be going to 1RAR. He's got the all blue on. Free diving, fantastic sport, but many of the death of a lot of great athletes. Tasmanian Devil. I got a G-Shock watch today, but it's got a little blue on it. As long as it's a very little bit of blue. The reason is we can't afford to have something that is a different colour, that is in the when you're carrying your weapon system, that is right in the centre of the scene mass, which will become an aiming point for your opposition. Something that stands out.
Nicole King has popped in to say hello.
The King.
She's popped in just to say hi, and she hopes that all those who are down south of her are safe, and if they aren't, to reach out for help.
But she's in Hobart.
There's no one.
Joking.
Yeah, I'm south, but I'm fine. Don't worry. We've got quite nice weather.
Yeah, thanks, Nicole. I was thinking about putting the word out too. If there's some people, if there's any beautiful women out there that feel like they're stranded, that are really good at cleaning, I've got a place for you. You've got 6 months to come in, clean it up, then get out. That doesn't make sense.
Sorry, I was laughing at what Rob was saying.
What's Rob saying?
He was. It's a long story. We're talking about whether anyone's actually listening in or watching Stoddy, because he seems to have gremlins.
Well, this guy trying to swim into my head like a tick.
Like Rob said, is that if you hear clicking noises, that's a dead giveaway. But it's a long story. It's channel law. You just don't understand.
And you know what? When I talk to people on the phone, especially when it was before the elections, US elections, some weird stuff happened on my phone. They'd be talking to me and you can hear like in the background, almost like there was people going, "Don't say anything, he can't hear us." Look at this guy. He's living life.
I know, Stoddy's loving it. He loves underwater stuff.
Yeah, if you were scared, I've got the cardio, of Simon Powell, I tell you. But this is what I believe is living life.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. I think my fear would get in the way.
But this is all graduation, you know, being able to do it at 6 feet, being able to do it at 12 feet, being able to do it 20 feet, and then going on from there. It's just amazing.
It is amazing. It is amazing. And I love the VR headset tours of shipwrecks and under the ocean and that, but I'm not sure if I could do it in real life. He looks like a sim, doesn't he? He doesn't even look like a real person under there, running under there on the bottom of the ocean.
I can't wait to see what some of the requests are from people that what they would like to see as the background for our streams.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because I think this is amazing. And I think the best thing, I don't understand that G-string or whatever he's wearing. That freaks me out.
Is it a G-string or is it a little purse, like a little fanny pack or something?
I don't know. It freaks me out. This is, look at that. That's religious now.
Now I've got to look at it. Oh, it is like a little, it's like little knickers. What's he wearing that for?
I don't know. It's freaky.
Yeah.
But
I wouldn't have even noticed his knickers.
How talented he is.
He can wear knickers all he likes. He's that talented.
The confidence he has must be like a surgeon.
Yeah, he looks like he's having fun though.
Yeah, he's having fun.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, Yaros is here. The 3 thumbs. God.
Do you feel like a kebab now?
And look who's here. We've got another member.
Ah, Kemp Thorne. Welcome.
Picture yourself under the ice there. And then all of a sudden, Kempy Thorne is hopefully people throw some thumbs up to you as they subscribe if they haven't already, or press the like button. We've only got like 42 likes here. Come on, team.
Yeah, please do.
Here we go.
Thumbs up.
Give me a cracking.
That's like a Tasmanian.
It's on the menu. You're about to see something absolutely bullshit crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Triangles.
Feed him a mother-in-law.
It looks like
That
a
should make
play
him
button.
happy.
No,
Welcome,
yeah, but you know,
calamari.
up on his eyes. There.
You're about to see an underwater freshwater lake underneath saltwater. I've been looking for this forever to show you. It is the freakiest looking
They're amazing.
predator. You know, it's insane. Guys, look at that. You can't emulate that. It's amazing. Let me do the work and find these clips for you. I feel like he's actually climbing up behind me. If he actually reaches me, am I going to be possessed? Lurker. Simon Powell. Look at all the thumbs up there. Let's steer away from the trifectas. But other than that, we're blessed to have you here. We really are. And thank you to the YouTube gods for letting us almost speak fairly candidly, actually, these days, and fairly let us alone.
I think they've realised we're harmless.
Well,
you know.
Did you notice this is all since the election stopped?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they've settled down because you know I suppose they're trying to run a business too.
Here it is, the underwater lake.
Here we go.
Some people probably don't even realise this exists.
It's amazing.
This is water underwater.
Yep.
That guy is a legend. It doesn't get better than that. But I'm going to learn about this. I might go and do a course. Good night, Nicole.
Yeah. Good night, Nicole. Thanks for
I'll
popping
be on
in.
more regularly soon after I get over my current op. What is it? A lot of people are getting colonoscopies at the moment, and everyone deserves to taste that prep.
The barium fluid. Yeah. You know that freshwater there is amazing. Have you ever seen those freshwater dolphins that they have like in South America?
Are they the really ugly ones?
Yeah, they're a bit ugly. They're not as pretty as the saltwater ones, but they're kind of that pink colour. They're so strange seeing dolphins in a river.
Nothing good comes out of fresh water but water. You know.
What?
Well, sure, there's sharks in salt water. Most of them don't attack you. You know, but there's clarity. There's already salt on your food. It's seasoned. Everything to do with fresh water is murky, dirty water. There's unsalted fish that always look like they come from Sector B of the nuclear plant.
Yeah.
There's always a sharp stick waiting to go up your ass off a tree swing that 100 other people jumped and never scored. You know, bullseye. Oh!
Waiting for you. Yep.
What do we reckon about this green screen? How good
Great.
is this green screen?
Yeah,
it just makes it the next level. Ah, it's like he agrees with me.
Smokey B's off to bed. Good night, Smokey.
Good night, Smokey, mate.
Yep, you have to say it in New Zealandy.
Smokey B, bro.
Yeah, that's it. And Nicole, she's having she had a hiatus hernia.
Oh.
And the stomach pushed out of my chest. Right, so it's some gut stuff.
You sure that's not pregnant?
No.
Look at that! Look at that whale having a whale of a time.
Oh, I love whales. You know, I love them.
Do you love Moby's dick?
Beg your pardon?
It's a classic tale.
I know all about Captain Ahab. Thank you very much.
Carl. Looks like the Nepean River just as clear. Yeah, I was with Carl today down at the river. He was actually the one that said to me, hey, do you want to come and get a coffee and come in and check out the river at Western Sydney? I was not ready for what I saw. You know, it is absolutely everyone floats here. Swings. I've got photos of all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, the photos she sent me this morning were amazing.
Amazing Grace.
They were Amazing Grace.
Yeah. Simon, Tasmanian Devil throwing some coke up there.
Well, look at all those whales. Look
I know.
How many there is. That's a whole pod.
Yep. You know, but no one calls them some sort of bad name from the left because they kill 1 billion plankton every mouthful.
Well, that's exactly. Try and get them to go vegan. Good luck. Because that would cause no problems, would it? Somebody had some Coca-Cola Pepsi fake news. Let me see if I can find it. I'm sure it was
Pepsi.
fake. Tasmanian Devil said, hi, Kaz, have you seen the ads of Pepsi claiming to be better than Coca-Cola? Is it fake news?
Of course it's fake news. I've never heard someone actually say that.
You already know it is, Tassie Devil. Already know.
There's a guy called Craig Parry, fantastic guy who's a photographer at Byron Bay. He's got his own studio there. I call him the barefoot photographer. And before COVID, and maybe even during, I don't know, but he goes to, where does he go to? He goes to one of the islands, not Solomon's. I'll get back to you with it. But what he does, he takes you on that trip and he takes underwater photography of you, okay, swimming, free diving with whales. So you can actually end up buying a picture that he takes for your wall, as big as a pool table pretty much, okay, that is actually you. So you can actually be part of an exhibit. Right? Fantastic. They're about $5,000 for the really good ones, but that's absolutely worth it. A picture of you, free diving with whales in their natural habitat. That looks like Nice. I think that is Nice in France. I've been there. It's funny as hell.
Well, you know what always gets me?
What's that?
They don't have sand on their beaches like we do.
And they think it's beautiful, and people are crying because when the waves come, they hit the boulders that smash into your shins and ankles. There's people crying while they're bloody sunbaking. It's funny as hell.
I don't think they understand how fortunate we are. I don't think we understand how fortunate we are to have the beautiful golden sands that we do everywhere.
It's true.
Yep. Zane Robinson is just popping in to say, hi, Kaz. And I'm pretty busy studying for some exams. Have a good night. You have a good night, and I hope your study goes well.
And you need some Coca-Cola in your life. One, it brushes your teeth, and two, it'll activate you to study. And it keeps dentists in a job. Don't eat that goddamn apple that keeps the doctors away.
Well, exactly. We've got the apple harvest going on right now down here.
Yeah.
Big deal.
We're going to speak for about an hour and a half tonight, team. So if you're good for another half an hour, and you can watch Married at First Sight reruns tomorrow if you wish.
I can't watch it. You know I can't watch it. It makes me too angry.
Do you know what will make you angry?
What's that?
If you pick up your iPad and download Warpath right now.
Why? Oh,
It is so goddamn addictive. It's crazy. Warpath.
Is it?
Yeah, really addictive. For those that are late, check this out. We bought this at the Infantry Museum. Skippy badge inside Skippy.
So good.
So good. Every lady would be impressed, and anyone that's a fan of Ed Gain.
Yeah, exactly. He was a very crafty man, wasn't he?
Yeah. Lampshades, nothing went to waste in that house.
No, exactly. He liked his
Mother-in-law bedspread.
Yes, he liked his handicrafts. Let's just leave it at that.
Hey, Josh, how you going, mate? Fan of Coca-Cola? Great to have you here. Manda hug and kiss. Put Pepsi in the background. Enough. Wash your mouth out. Manda hug and kiss.
Come on now. We've done that once for Jack.
You're scaring the children, mate.
Yeah, exactly. Come on. It's before bedtime.
Let's go back a bit, and I'm going to just quickly let you know that one of the fantastic young men that was part of the platoon, Kapyong Platoon, that marched out was of Aboriginal descent.
Oh, yes, you were going to tell us.
And he came over to me, and he wanted to shake my hand. He'd seen our videos, like most of the platoon had. So, guys and gals, you're not alone. You're not the freak by being here, just like the freak beside the microphone here who has a carer called Lauren who's watching after me in the white phone, which would make it racist.
Yep.
And he came over and I shook his hand like everyone. You're like, awesome, mate, awesome. You're here. You've made it. You know, you've got the Skippy badge, you've got the rifle green beret, and you've also got your lanyard with the battalion that you want to go to. Fantastic. And when I started speaking to him, he let me know that he'd been part of the Indigenous Preparation Program. I don't think he expected my response. I let him know straight away, I hate that. I hate it. I don't like it. And the reason being from an instructor's point of view, from a peer's point of view, from a brother's point of view, is, because we're all brothers once we've got the Skippy badge,
that's true.
is this kid now has the pride of what he's achieved, almost like they're trying to take it off him and say,
exactly.
but he, and I said to him, mate, you don't ever need to say that again, that you did that scheme, because you're here because of what you achieved. All of the hard times you did at Singleton, not one of those things could have prepared you for that. This is all you, mate. Yeah. And my fear is that these programs that they have for females that turn up unprepared, if it was you, they'd send you away and say, come back in a year, if you weren't an identity politics individual.
A token, token for them.
But so they're doing this for the Aboriginals and the females, and you're going, but by doing that, you become...
Yeah, exactly.
And they're also giving us people, if they're not good enough, they're giving us people that put us in danger. There is a reason why you have to be a certain fitness level. There is a reason why you have to have a certain aptitude. There is a reason why they don't want you to have a criminal background. There is a reason why they want you to be psychologically sound. There is a reason why they want you to be confident, absolutely be able to understand exactly why you want to be here. Because somewhere between recruiting, which is harmless, Kapuka, which is generally harmless, Singleton is not. All of a sudden, that person has had helping hands all the way now, has their hands taken off. No one's going to think, hey, that guy or that girl came in by that program. And then when they start to lag behind because they weren't prepared but were still allowed in, have live ammunition at night time, tunnel vision, no confidence in what they're about to do, your back is in front of them, safety catches off or forgotten, a finger goes onto a trigger, who do you blame? No one. Can't blame him. Not his fault. Fucking oath it is. It is the fault of the person that is not prepared, and it is the fault of a system, if it allows you in, that demands that everyone else be above that standard. There's one standard. There has to be one standard.
Exactly. Either the job needs that standard or it doesn't.
That's right. You know, and don't just listen to cats. Ask every single parent. Do you want your kid beside someone who's been thrown a softball, an underhand throw, you know, because of their identity politics status? Or do you want someone who has earned the right to be there? And this kid earned the right to be there. And I didn't want his achievement, okay, or any Aboriginal or female to actually have a tarnish beside their name.
Absolutely not. You know, it's like as a tattoo parlour owner, I'm going to have to discriminate against a blind person wanting an apprenticeship.
That's a
because
good
there
point.
is no way they can meet the job requirements.
Absolutely. It's so hard to explain. Hey, wait a second. What's he doing? Simon Powell?
Yeah, it's cheeky, isn't it?
I'm going to throw you this Kraken. Put some salad with it. Come on. Get on. Kraken. It's not working.
No Kraken for Simon.
There you go, Simon. It's just not working for you, bro. I don't know what's happening. That's my stream pad that I'm hitting there, you know. Simon, thank you very much for that, mate. But everyone, if you know, Simon Powell earns his money by taking what comes out of a horse's fifth leg,
Literally.
okay, and liberating that and taking it to somewhere else to get another horse going. How long do they gestate for?
I don't know. How long do horses gestate?
I know an oyster is only 16 hours.
You know, we are very interested in gestation periods around here.
Yeah. Roger Ramjet. Well said, Kaz. One standard. Then kudos to those who make it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Yep.
this young fella, I could tell that he got it. He realised I was complimenting him, not insulting him.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Yep.
And
No, he should be proud.
I addressed the elephant in the room, so to speak, you know, and more than happy to call him brother, just like everyone else that wore that Skippy badge.
Exactly.
You know. I wonder if anyone fucked up. I'm going to tell you something. Very, very amateur hour, I believe. The platoon that marched out, you got to remember, for a year, have hardly been able to have a beer. Yep. And now what happens is they graduate on a Friday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Their weapons are handed in, security check. Okay. Now you're allowed to go with your parents, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your mate's girlfriend or wife, whatever you want to do, and you're allowed to go to Newcastle, which is 78 kilometres away, but over an hour by Uber, etc. About $120 from Newcastle if you miss the bus or miss the ride that gets chartered as groups. Now, when you let 50 guys loose,
Yep.
when they're the top of the world, what can go wrong? When they have to be back by 10 o'clock the following day, so much can go wrong. You know, I wouldn't allow people to potentially ruin the start of their career by an alcohol-related incident. And imagine if it was one of the commandos. Whew. How much money has been spent on these young fellas?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? You're going to hear a lot when you're in the military that they offer you, 2 beers per man. And that's not just because you can't get pissed and get in trouble. It's to test you, because if you give people in a controlled environment the opportunity to have 2 beers, and I suggest with commanders you let your soldiers do this, then you can see who you need to watch out for, who jumps the fence, who has more than 2. I can tell you now, I'll have more than 2. I'll find a way. Frank the tank. And it tastes delicious. But, you just got to be careful. You got to be careful, because you can give someone permission to ruin themselves. Yeah. Judged Cello, is it? G'day everyone.
Yes.
G'day, mate.
It's been here a few times.
You're not judged.
Yes,
You're not judged here.
Not judged here, you're just a cello. Simon Powell says it's 11 to 12 months gestation for a horse. That's a long time. I heard that hippos are pregnant for nearly 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true though.
That's a long time.
It's a long time, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. Chongo. I always think of the Donkey Kong just beating its chest when I see your name.
Different when Chongo comes on in. I just told him about Patreon, and if you join the Patreon, you will get access to the bat phone.
Which is this white phone here.
Yeah.
We've been on doing phone calls all day today. Yeah. The reason why we have the bat phone for you is, and don't go to Patreon expecting it to be like Facebook. It's not. I'm not going to sit on there messaging people back and forth. The phone is there for you to text or ring, and then from there we have a conversation that has no end for some people. you know, and they have to tell me to get off too sometimes, you know, and it's so we can tailor in a non-political, stripped back, candid conversation tailored just for you and your problems that you don't want to talk to the world about. And that doesn't have to be military. It can be anything. And sometimes it is. You know, we've gone down some really weird, what would you call it, wormholes with some people.
Yep.
It's fantastic.
It is fantastic. And it's, you know, it's good when they really get the answer to their questions from you in a personal way. And
they deserve it. We're looking at what do you think of this team? You know, I've had police tell me, you know, be very careful what you do for homeless people because they're normally there by choice or by deed. But at the same time, I've got a soft spot for them because they're often people that have ruined a lot of the bases where they could have found safety, whether that be friends, whether it be family, whether it be relationships.
Yeah, exactly. They have much fewer choices when you hit that low in life.
That's true.
You have fewer options.
And once you have strikes against your name, there's not much forgiveness or ladders to help you up. So one of the things that we're going to do soon, as we're getting ready for the colder months, we're going to do, I'm going to take Aaron, the hitman, stranded in Richmond underneath the floodwater Dixon, and we're going to go into town, the city, and we're going to find some homeless people. And what we're going to do is we're going to give them the homeless kit. They're going to get a pizza because some of them complain about Kentucky, you know, or McDonald's. You know, you can't expect a thank you from these guys, a lot of them, you know, and a lot of them are there by choice. Remember that too. But we'd love to get them a good duck down jacket, okay, a pizza, a cup of coffee, righto, and then from there, just something to say. The next life, mate. Don't fuck it up.
Yeah. And if you folk out there want to help homeless people, I would suggest that you send some underwear to the Wayside Pastor. The Wayside Chapel is always really good. We'll give homeless people fresh underwear or little like hotel travel size toiletries. They will take them off your hands too because they give them a place to shower and get changed. And so they're always needing underwear and toiletries if you guys want to help homeless people.
The two things I love to give them is things like sleeping bags and the jackets because they're not going to sell it.
Well, that's right. Well, if you give them undies, what are they going to do? Put them on in the street? No, they can go to the chapel and have
dental floss.
Get some new undies there. Yeah, exactly. But jackets and that, like, you know, they're always, especially winter.
Yeah, Simon Powell's over near Richmond as well. I don't have to call the little one yet until I don't have to call my little one until after 8:30, and it's a mama's birthday tomorrow.
Oh, really?
I've bought her knives, you know, because we're not together anymore. I wouldn't have done that during the breakup time, or they could have been used on me.
Yeah.
But that's all cool.
May still be touch and go.
Understanding is always better than judgment. Look, it's understanding is always better than judgment. It's true, but also do not trust.
Yeah, no, that's what understanding is.
Yeah.
You know, it's like knowledge is power. And, you know, okay, so you may have got yourself into some situations, made some bad choices, and here you are. But I'm not going to judge you for it. You may need a jacket.
Yeah.
You know, or you may need some undies or something. So here, let me not walk past you and you be invisible to me.
Yeah, because people won't see them between 1 o'clock in the morning and 8 o'clock in the morning generally. And that is the time where they're not getting donations. That is the time when you're like, Jesus Christ, this is cold.
Yeah, exactly. My children, every year I've been taking my children to send underpants and toiletries to the Wayside Chapel. We post them up there.
Yeah.
Because we don't have a huge homelessness problem here, but I know in Sydney, inner city Sydney has a really bad one. So they're the ones who need it, and it's a really good thing to teach your kids.
It's true. Let's sorry, I can't read the small writing there. Is it Wax Vids?
Wakey was vids. So regarding Kapooka, does it have specific starting dates, or are new recruits always coming in and out?
Okay, Kapooka takes in about, and great to have you here. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't. It's great to have you here, Mr. Vids. That implies to me you've probably got a channel as well. Let us know if you have, and I don't mind you. I don't mind you advertising your channel on here, team.
We'll go have a look at it.
Yeah. Kapooka takes normally about 3 intakes a month that go in there. And what happens when they go in there, let's just say the course goes for 89 days or 92 days. They press the start date and it just goes, and it populates an entire program, not missing any days. Nothing can change. There's no fat in there to move things left and right. If it's raining, you do it in the rain. If it's sun, you do it in the sun. You know, so you can bet your bottom dollar. If it says this is your start date, that's your end date, unless you get back squatted, that's exactly what's going to happen. The only difference being is if there is the COVID quarantine period that's been added on. Okay, that's it. Righto? So if you can find out how many days it goes for exactly, you know, and then you get an enlistment date, that tells you what's going down. Chongo, got to go, guys.
Yep.
No worries, Chongo. Good to have you here, mate. As always. I always think of Donkey Kong.
I always think of the banana sleds. Uh-oh, Chongo.
What's Michael Stott saying?
Michael Stott is saying to be non-judgmental is not the absence of judgment. It is the absence of blame. Separate the issue from the person and you can judge the issue till the cows come home. And that's very true, because with discernment, that requires a little bit of judgment even to be wise. So we can always say don't judge ever, but you do have to, because you have to make wise decisions. So you have to judge situations. It's the difference between giving a homeless person a jacket and inviting them into your home. And
do you know what the weird thing is? We have so many titles for people that don't like certain races, people that don't like certain colours, people that don't like certain political leaning. But we don't have any of those problems for someone that doesn't like German Shepherds because they got bitten when they were younger. From sharks because they had a run-in with sharks. Do all sharks attack? No. But did one try? Yes. If someone's perception is reality, they can have that reality. Who cares? As long as they're not acting on it, as long as they're not attacking another segment of society, you can have whatever thought set you have about that. It may be wrong, but it might be your perception.
Yeah, exactly. And
you know, people getting attacked left and right. No, actually only right.
Right. That's true. That is true. Good night, Tassie Devil.
See you, Tassie. 2 heads, better than one.
Kringles is here late. Don't worry, Kringles. You can rewatch it. Tom Sinor said his earlobes are sewn, medical cleared, smashed his PFA, just waiting for enlistment date, so ready to become an infantryman.
In winter. Let's not forget that. In winter.
Yeah.
It makes so much difference. And you know what? It makes me just Dr. Evil my fingers when you hear someone say, oh, the cold's not as bad as the heat. You go, you have never been cold if people say that statement. You know, because at the end of the day, and I hate that statement at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Australia is colder than the Antarctica in many ways. You know, you are dressed for the weather in Antarctica. You are dressed for the weather in Alaska. You can't dress for the weather in Australia because we can have an area that is 38 degrees during the day, -2 at night. And once you add water, remember when you go out field and you go somewhere for 3 weeks, you know, you're packing for the way you felt right now. But when you actually go up, you know, hundreds of meters in elevation, and then 3 days in it starts to rain, season weather or terrain, and you're soaked wet, okay, your anus is absolutely drenched. That is when you can't get wetter. When your anus, when your hemorrhoid is wet as well and waterlogged.
Oh, good grief.
You know, you can be so cold, and there's no escape from it. And you can't say, I'm cold. No one cares, because they are too.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's where toughness comes from, operating in adverse conditions. And guess what? As a platoon sergeant, if I tell you you're not wearing a raincoat, you're not wearing a raincoat. If I tell you you're not going to wear any warm weather gear, and I don't mean board shorts. It's always confusing. If we tell you that you're not going to be putting a jumper on, you're not wearing a jumper. The reason is because I know what's about to happen.
Yeah,
I know that you're about to be
trouble,
active.
haven't they, from wearing thermals when they were told that they
People have nearly died.
Yeah, and so you've got to trust. It's a trust thing.
Yeah. I feel the cold as much as anyone else. But if I tell you you're not wearing a jumper, that's because you know you're going to be overheating soon. You've got something very physical coming up real soon. And if you're one of those people that thinks you know better because you're 17 and you put a thermal on underneath that we can't see, and all of a sudden you start to do a Mr. Wobbly, and we're going, what's going on? And then we find out that underneath all that clothes, while you're doing an advance to contact or a pack march or a fighting withdrawal out of there to get out of indirect and then start a movement to another location tactically in marching order at night, then we may not know that you've got a thermal on and you're going down. And the difference between someone going down with heat and stupidity, and someone that's been shot, there is no difference. Our whole call sign now has to worry about the problem that you've created through ignorance and through inability to listen to wisdom, which always beats intelligence. Have you ever heard that saying, you can be too smart for your own good? Yeah. The platoon sergeant is the senior nurse in the operating theatre. The surgeon, no doubt, is intellectually well above that of the senior nurse, way above. But she has more wisdom and has done this and has walked this track so many times before. You trust her when she tells you, you need to do this, you need to do it now, or let me take over. Okay, you do it. That's what the platoon sergeant is, the head nurse, the matron. Yeah.
Good night, Jessie. Good night, Jessie's girls.
Jessie. Night team, little miss is going to bed. Make sure that she watches The Conjuring before she goes to sleep.
He's a tiny baby. That is the worst advice
You got to bring him up tough. Yeah. Okay. Also, do not try and watch BuzzFeed Unsolved Marathon, because I tell you, you will piss yourself laughing. You cannot have bad morale with that. It is so good. If you need to pick me up, you need to leave this stream right now and type in BuzzFeed Unsolved Marathon, and you are going to be a fan.
Exactly. It's really good, because I'm not a BuzzFeed.
No.
I actually, just between you and me, I actually don't like BuzzFeed, but
no one knows.
But when I watched that, it was actually hilarious, and I'll watch anything with those two guys in.
He has got a big head, and it also looks funny when you see an Asian gentleman swearing.
Yeah, they're both lovely. They've got a really nice dynamic.
Yeah, I love them.
I like it too.
Ricky? What a cool name. Ricky Hirani. Can you please tell us where you're from, Ricky? Hirani, is that Japanese?
Hirani, I don't know.
Oh, Indian?
I don't know.
We've got 7 minutes until 7-minute abs before this all ends for the night.
Okay, 7 minutes, yeah. I'm a bit brain dead tonight.
So am I.
Pringles has a question.
Yeah.
In what ways do artillery observers and infantry differ? Is it fair to compare the two? From my understanding, FOs are a lot like recon infantry, 200 metres ahead of infantry lines.
No. They, under no circumstance, will ever be in a fight. They are not trained to be able to be part of that fight. Forward observer, what they do is they will hang out in the centre, of an organisation where they are protected, because they're a SIG, they're a communicator. Their weapon is their radio. They don't go sneaky peeky. They will be part of an organisation, and they'll be in the administration part, which is behind the platoon commander, who is the quarterback punk for that call sign. And then they can't call in anything until they're told, yes, do this now. And they are outranked by the infantry on the ground. So they have to be told yes to dropping bombs, etc. They'll want a grid straight away for where the enemy location is, threat location. or shaping location. And there'll be the fighting elements in front of them, okay, and around them. 2 up, 1 back, okay. It might be, you name it. Their job is to stay protected, to stay out of the fight, but to be able to observe where the forward line of troops are, the forward line of infantry. And if it's a moving call sign, they should be moving with that call sign, never stationary, calling in fires, okay, as part of an organisation, because they can't assume, if they cannot see you, or assume that when you throw red smoke, that delay between the smoke going up, that's where the forward line of troops are. They need to be with a moving element. So when there's rounds in the air, they can say to platoon commander, hold your call sign, dwell in location, 30 seconds. Splash out, boom, 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 hits the ground, move forward. So they are very important as part of the guns net and the fires net, and they will move with the tactical commander, being the platoon commander, and the administration being the platoon sergeant. Somewhere in between there, where you'd have a medic and the other SIG that would be behind the platoon commander. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Just before we get out of here, I saw Pressa said, hey, Kaz, I got my enlistment date for infantry on the 26th of April.
The day after Anzac Day. Is that Pressa?
Pressa, yeah, with an A at the end. That's why I say it like that. Do you have any other in the trenches with Kaz fans going that date?
I'm about to tell you there, my friend.
I'm going to consult the book.
The book, the Libre. No, that's free in Spanish.
Yeah.
26th April. 5th, 13th. I am sure that we had someone else that was going on the 26th, because we brought that up before.
I'm sure that there was.
Presser. At the moment, I've got you as the only one that is going on that date.
There you go.
There's plenty on the 5th. There's plenty on the 13th. 26th, sorry. We've got the Judge Cello. What a fantastic name that is. So, Presser and Judge Cello, you'll be going in on the 26th. Yep. There'll be others, believe me.
Yeah, Judge Cello, that's...
What a great name. He lives on the Titanic.
Yeah, exactly. What? Who?
The cello.
The judge. Why is he a judge? Because he doesn't get to go in the lifeboat.
Yeah. And we've got a fantastic Tom Sinor.
Tom Sinor, my birthday, 26th of April. Oh, that's...
My birthday's the 25th, Anzac Day. Exactly. So you are my hangover there, Tom. Tom, I don't think we've seen your name before, have we? If we haven't, and no disrespect, I can only hold so many names in my mind, press that subscribe button, press the like button, and let us know what's important to you so we can give you a thumbs up and subscribe to your life as well.
Yeah, exactly. We do love to hear about you guys. We love to see your journey. It's very satisfying to see you from when you first come in here to when you actually pop in after you're living your dream. It's great.
These are the sands in the hourglass, and these are the days of our lives.
I know. They're like our babies, and we watch you grow up. We watch you go from boys or girls to men and women. It's a very proud moment for us.
It is. Let me tell you a last story, team. I thought that I was in for a... you're going to like this one, Simon, as will Michael Stott, and Jam Man, the mechanic, Roger Ramjet, Stotty. I was on the bus, and I'd already spoken to people most of the day, and we were going back to the museum, and there was a young lass leaned over, and she had a pretty radical left-looking lady that was sitting beside her closest to me, who was texting crazily on her phone. I suspect she was there in case she met this other girl. We'll call her Chloe for now because her name was Chloe. And she just goes, "Are you that YouTube guy?" So naturally everyone on this quiet bus is going, looking over, and my shirt was in the trenches with Kaz, so there's no, depends on what you want to say. And the subject came up about women not being allowed to go to infantry. What's the story with that? And you know me, I don't sit on fences.
No, nor should you.
So I said, absolutely, they should be allowed. No, I didn't. I said, I said to her, look, I'm going to tell you now, the reason why I say that is because of the propaganda, the fake news, the political spin that happens that tells ladies that aren't used to being told that you're not as good as guys at that. You know, you're not made for that. And basically, I just explained to her that I'm the one that gets to hear and see the tears of the people that turn up when they fail. I'm talking about men as well. You know, when they put that equipment on, that there is no one, there's no Maurice Payne, there is no Minister for Defence coming to go, you can do it. There's no recruiting going, yeah, great job, Nicole.
No,
None of them are there to help you when...
Yeah, that's right. And I like that people, because what we tell you, we're not telling you with an agenda in mind. We're telling you to warn you.
Protect you.
So you are fully informed before you make a decision. If you do make that decision to go ahead, we will still support you all the way and try to help you get the best out of it that you can.
Yep.
But we will not let you go ill-informed. And also, you should know that our answer, if you meet us face to face, will be exactly the same as the answer we would give you right here.
Absolutely. And you know what? The stats are on the wall. It has not worked for females. It is not working. You know, they're getting chewed up and spat out. You know, and no one wants that. I've got a daughter, and I would hate to feel that someone had ever lied to my child about something that was so important and beginning their first ever career with a big F that they can't necessarily get out of, because just by failing the course doesn't mean, okay, now you go and get to do what you want.
No, exactly.
They've got to fix you up again, and then you've got to have another go. And then they've got to determine that you are still trainable, but not psychologically a problem that is worth going to another corps. Otherwise, you can be discharged as an administrational discharge.
Yeah, and we actually want you all to have a really long career as well. So we want you to be in the right job.
Absolutely.
You know, you look at infantry or something totally different. We want you as a person to be in the right job.
Yeah. I've got a question here from Kringles. What's the schedule for Kazza streams? Normally Mondays and Fridays, mate, at 7 or 7:15 on Monday and Friday, Eastern Sydney times. Today was just because I didn't make Friday, and I didn't make Monday because I was out of town going to see a soldier that I'd never met. Drove up to Singleton to go and see his family. You know, he was a Patreon member as well as an excellent subscriber to the channel.
He's a great community member, yeah, indeed.
Yeah, so we went and gave our support to him and drove up there. And honestly, the amount of soldiers that we saw there that were actual lurkers, that say they're here all the time, but they just can't have their real name here. And they were stoked. I got some two-handed handshakes. That's rare when you get that.
Yeah, that's lovely. That's a sign of it.
They were lovely.
Yeah. It's time for us to get out of here.
Let's go. Let's get out of the. Let's get out of the village. These are the actual men behind me. Yeah. The actual men that marched out. This was taken on the day. Okay. What I can't do is share their names because now they are fully qualified soldiers. Today they left. Right now they're all in their battalion locations.
If we can see our lad, can I see him?
No.
I can't see him.
I'll ask him which one he was.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
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 You can tell me.
I'll send you a photo of him.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'd love to see him because I'm dead proud of you all. All right. Thank you very much, moderators. Thank you very much, members.
See you later.
Welcome to all the new people and the lurkers, as always, and we hope we'll see you next stream.
We hope to. Yeah. It's the only channel that is really actually here contextually for you, more streaming than creating videos, to answer the questions without sitting on fences that you deserve answers to from a male and female panel.
Yep.
We are your BuzzFeed.
We are.
And to all of those that lost their lives, they shall grow not old as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. and at the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them, lest we forget.